Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, could you please turn on audio, Prabhuji?
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Brajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Gaur Premanande Vishwad Paramansa Brivarajakacharya Stotrashata Nitya Leela Pravishti His Divine Grace Abhaichana Arabinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Skan BBT Fund Rajaya Param Gurudev Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananda Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya Ki Jai Shri Shri Srivas Pandit Appearance Day Maha Mahotsav Ki Jai Jai Gaur Premanande Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Very auspicious day today. or our Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So he is one of the member of the Panchatattva. So Panchatattvakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Saktikam. So what does that mean? Pay obeisance to Lord Krishna, who appeared in 5 aspects: as a devotee, as an expansion of devotee, as an avatar of devotee, as a pure devotee, as devotional energy. So, I think he appeared on the 8th day of waning moon, Krishna Ashtami, in the month of Chaitra. And this disappearance day is celebrated on the 10th day of waning moon, Krishna Dashami. In today is appearance day, right? Okay. So Chaitanya Charitamrita describes these 5 aspects: a devotee, expansion of devotee, an avatar of devotee, as a pure devotee, as a devotional, also as devotional energy. So elsewhere, also Gaura Gunopadesh Deepaka also explains the summary meaning of these words of Panchatattva. Bhaktarupa is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who formerly appeared as Sri Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaja. Bhakta Swarupa, devotional incarnation, is Lord Nityananda, who appeared in the Vrajabhumi as Balaram. And Bhakta Avatara, as devotional manifestation, as Lord Advaitacharya, who is also non-different from Sadashiva. Bhakta Kya, pure devotee, is Srivas. And also about Gadadhar Pandit, who is devotional energy, Radharani's expansion. So, pure devotee. Now, discussing about pure devotee. All who are coming in from our parampara are all pure devotees, including Srila Prabhupada. Even presently, many acharyas are there who are pure devotees, but whether we understand, we don't understand. But certainly there are many people around us who are carrying this institution and is expanding. So unless pure devotional service is not propagating, it will not expand. So this much of confidence we should have that there are pure devotees around us. We may not be able to see, but how we can see is because this energy which is expanding through this Hare Krishna movement, that means there are pure devotees. So you can also be assured that you are following, you are one of them. Now, 2 things you can think of. Today we are discussing the pastime of Srivas. Pastimes are you can pass your time and also you can take part in the pastime. So many times we are so conscious that we are involved in our classes, understand what sometimes we are not conscious. So our time passes off. So when material life is too much of involvement, then certainly we are passing our time there. So if you do not make an attempt to mitigate that material problems, to minimize, I can't say we can eradicate, minimize, then Krishna conscious grows. So it is, vice versa. When Papa becomes more, Punya comes down. Punya becomes more, Papa goes down. In the same way, material aspects, material aspiration, material involvement in society, by and large, if that does not come down in spiritual life as we are making progress, then there is certainly some difficulty in our progress of devotional service. So it is necessary for us to plan our life in such a way that Krishna is always in the center. Devotion, service to Krishna, service to Guru is a prime. Now, if you are looking at, oh, it's very, very difficult, how we can go, then Srivas is the best example. So he was a devotee, he was a grasta, 4 or 5 brothers with him, a big family. Oh, so when we go deeper into the pastimes of such exalted people, then there is hope for us. Why the hope? Because their pastimes there, you can see how Lord Chaitanya interacts. Then certainly that hope rises. But that hope can rise provided we are also ready to shun our unwanted luggage, unwanted weight we are carrying in our life. Whether you want to do it by yourself or not, some things go, but some things come up. And again, life goes again, one more life comes. So all of us have been learning through wonderful teachings of Srila Prabhupada, and this we know that after life there is life. And also we know how we will take next life. And also we know how to get out of life. But in between there is that interval between understanding from going to the next life or living that life is devotional service. So when you take up that devotional service, you will transit between a dead body to the lively body. I'll quote that why I'm calling from we are in a dead body and why you are transiting to a lively body. So that is the process of, this is this journey of this Krishna conscious life for all of us. So this life is very precious. If you don't plan your journey, then the journey goes in a zigzag. A snake always keeps going like that, and he will always round. So like that, material life is nothing but a snake. It will keep you going round, and you will be there only. So spiritual life is a serious matter, and especially coming into Krishna consciousness and understanding the purpose of life. Nevertheless, we have to follow some dharma, which is there, varnashram dharma. We may be in brahmacharya, we may be in grastashram. So all the ashrams are there. We will be anywhere, no problem. Still we can go back to Krishna. In anywhere we can still sit in the same place if you don't follow. Whether it is brahmacharya, we can be there. As a sannyasi, we can be there. But these ashramas are there only to transit, to make progress. So when we go deeper into philosophy of understanding the pastimes of these acharyas or exalted devotees, what happens? Somewhere our mind gets triggered. Oh, there is a hope. So every day hearing Bhagavatam creates the hope. We make progress in our spiritual life. Every day there is light sun coming up. Bhagavatam rises in our heart and the hope. Then the next day, so in this process, we consolidate our spiritual journey. So the Srivas, intelligent Srivas had previously been Narada Muni, the best of the sages. Sriniva's younger brother, Sriman Ramai Pandit, had been known as very close to Narada Muni, who was Parvata Muni. So why are these people coming again and again is very clear to just lift us up. So they will come in a Grasta form, they will be in a Brahmacharya ashram, they will be coming in different ashram only to uplift us, to give hope to all ashramas that everybody is eligible. So this is something which is wonderful aspect which we can pick up where we are sitting. Never be envious of his color or his color or no, everybody can go back. or everybody can be here? So now you have to decide by something of our previous, whatever we have done, previous karma, we have got this life, we are in a human body, we have got a address where we are staying, we have parents. So many things have happened in our life, and in the process we have also landed up here, and we are hearing Krishna Katha, we are hearing Chaitanya Charitamrita Katha. So that means if you see, you are a fortunate soul. So identity has come, you are a fortunate soul. So all these things are your strength. Now, to strength you can become weak, from strength you can become stronger. Now that is in our hands. So that is their Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi Yoga is nothing but using that intelligence to become from weak to strong, stronger, not to become the otherwise. So the moment we leave the association of devotees, we become weak. The moment we are with devotees, we become strong. Very simple. Try to stay 1 week away from devotees. You will be really totally spaced out. So the Lord, especially Srila Prabhupada's movement, is creating that kind of an association where we can constantly be with devotees and make progress in spiritual life. Now, the origin of Srivas Pandit is, we'll go, and each pastime we will see what is hidden behind that. So you understood now, Srivas Pandit was a Narada Muni. So the effect of Narada Muni is what? Kirtanam all the time. So Srivas Angan was meant for doing kirtan. All the time he used to do kirtan. So that residues always will be there in the Leela. So Srivas Pandit hailed from Sylhet. What is it? Sylhet. It is from what? It is from Bangladesh. So he later on he shifted his place to Navadvip. He wanted to be instrumental in Gaur Leela. And from Chaitanya Bhagavat, we understand this. Also from Chaitanya Charitamrita, he had 3 brothers, Sri Ram Pandit, Sripati Pandit, Srikant, Srinidhi Pandit, were all participants of Mahaprabhu's Leela. So all the 4 brothers, they were engaged in Krishna consciousness or Gaura consciousness. So Gaudiya Vaishnava cites that Srivas Pandit's father was a Vedic Brahmana named Jaladhara Pandit. Srivas Pandit was the second of the 5 sons, and the eldest son was Nalini Pandit, had a daughter also named Narahari Devi. Mother was she was, I think, Chaitanya Bhagavat, Vrindavan Das Thakur. Narahari Devi, husband Vaikuntanath Das, he died while she was pregnant with Vrindavan Das. So she left her husband's house in Kumarahatta and came to live with Srivas Pandit in Navadvip. So it was in Srivas Pandit's house that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enacted his pastimes in Sankirtana. These 4 brothers were, somewhere it says 5 and somewhere it says 4, were continuously engaged in singing the names of Sri Krishna, and they worship Sri Krishna and bathed in Ganges thrice daily. So one thing was very, very clear that, I mean, how they lived today, from perception of today, just to chant Hare Krishna and go to Ganges, come back 3 times and leave. How would they live? Too much of complication, even in sitting in temple. We can't just chant Hare Krishna, take bath and come. But so many things we have to do. So if you look at that and look at now, certainly it is very difficult to comprehend how they just be there like that. They could be like that because people would recognize devotees. They would recognize devotees and they would bring everything and give. You remember how Narada Muni, delivered a Brigari. And he asked, how will I live? You don't worry, chant Hare Krishna, chant Ramachandra, it will come. So how people regularly used to give. So people used to respect Brahmanas, they would respect Vedic Pandits, and they would honor them, they would give them what is their requirement. In that process, a Brahmana would never be, entangled in day-to-day working. Is it not? Very simple. So he would just chant Hare Krishna or preach Divu, Bhagavad Katha. They would, and he would do some activities in devotional service, and his life was peaceful. But in the present scenario, we cannot recognize like that who is. And even if there is one, nobody bothers. Because they have lost that thinking of who actually is a Brahmana. So completely bewildered, people are looking in another direction and they don't know who the Brahmana is, who Kshatriya is. So Varna, Ashrama, everything is gone for a fix. So International Society for Krishna Consciousness and Srila Prabhupada, he wanted to initiate all this back, and he is being successful. And it's going to be successful, and we have a role to play too. So, and here Srila Prabhupada is talking of the Varna, Ashram and all, the consciousness, what it matters. You may be doing something else, but if your consciousness is a Brahmanical, then you are a Brahmana. So here Srila Prabhupada defined the Varnas Ashrama based on qualification, based on what kind of work we are doing, and in this process, everybody is educated. So, continuing, these four brothers previously lived in district of Hatta, later on came to reside next to the Ganges, regularly used to assemble at the place of Advaita Acharya's house. They would go and hear Srimad Bhagavatam, engage in congregational chanting, and they would also come to Jagannath Mishra's house where they would chant and listen to Bhagavatam. So, Jagannath Mishra and Srivas Pandit, their family, they were all now and then, they used to meet together. In that process, they would always hear Bhagavatam and chant. I don't see anything else. Srivas Pandit's wife was Malini Devi. She was close friend of Sachi Mata and was very helpful to her. So when Lord Chaitanya was about to be born, now friendship, maybe sisters, cousins, things like that, when somebody is giving birth in a house, naturally they will approach, friends and also sisters. They do come, aunties do come. So the same thing happened here, that Sachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra approached Srivas Pandit and Malinita that the baby is going to come out, please come and help. So you can know from this that actually Srivas and Malini Mata, they were the secondary parents for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he regarded them as parents too. So since previously Malini Devi was engaged in attending upon Sri Sachi Devi, so they came and started living with Jagannath Mishra's house, and they also developed parental affection towards Gaur Chandra. The baby was born. So as long as Lord chooses not to reveal himself, no one can possibly recognize him. Therefore, even though his childhood, the Lord exhibited many supernatural abilities, still due to his deluding potency, devotees could not fully understand his true nature. So even in the present time, sometimes some people do talk about who Srila Prabhupada is. Some people, other acharyas revealed their true nature. Some people knew, who he was. But with regard to Srila Prabhupada, he never revealed anything. Even though many devotees tried to find out, they asked Prabhupada, who are you? You can reveal. But he didn't reveal. Because the present situation is we misunderstand. We sentimentally, think, why is that person not attending Bhagavatam? What is he chanting outside? Ask him to come and sit here, no Bhagavatam. What is he doing? So, The hearts were simply in parental affection without true awareness of reverence. Srivas, Malini gave Sachidevi and Jagannath much advice to raise their new son. Srivas, Malini were just like mother and father of Gaur Sundara. Because young Nimai seemed to be growing arrogant by scholarship, one day Srivas Pandit decided to give him counsel. He asked him, my dear Nimai, he asked the question, why do people study? So that they might understand what is devotional service to Krishna. He told Nimai, if by scholarship one does not gain devotion to Krishna, then how will they learn helping him? Very important points. If you have actually learned something, then begin your worship of Krishna now. This is the purpose of your life. You know what did? Nimai just laughed. He says, by mercy, certainly one day I will become devotee of Lord. Oh, this is the true nature of we can analyze ourselves. We are also Pandits, we think we are Pandits, right? Every day Bhagavad study, every day Chaitanya Charanam study, all that. But there is something which has to trigger. What is that? Our bhakti has to trigger. If bhakti has to trigger, naturally our way of behavior changes. Our interaction with people will change. We become conscious to deal with so many instances do come across. Then you become very conscious in dealing things. So study of Bhagavatam, study of Chaitanya Charitamrita should awaken us to become good, better, and the best. So here what Srivas is telling that Lord Chaitanya, you're studying Shastra, all this, but what is the purpose of this? What is behind this? What are you going to attain? What is the result of this? Right? So now Srivas is making this point. Now what is Nimai is telling? He replied, by mercy, by your mercy, certainly there will come to be, if you are kind enough for me, then definitely I will attain devotional service to Krishna. So sometimes devotees come, please bless me, let me progress in devotional service. It is the best thing to ask. Sometimes devotees also ask so many other things. Oh, please bless me so that all my material problems goes. Array, you are accumulating material problem and you ask me to bless. You ask for blessing, devotees will bless. But what for you are asking for blessing? So in one way you are asking for blessing, another way the blessing comes and you are not picking up. So material problems, to mitigate material problems, you should seek devotees' blessings. But if you are not making an attempt to the material problems, to mitigate material problems, then how will this blessing occur? It will come and stand in front of you. That's all. It will be there, but you can't eat it. Or you can't get that mercy. This is the true fact for all of us. It is like a complacency. It will come and stand there. You may not progress. Saturation in devotion. So if saturation level, you have to get out of that. Escape velocity, they call it. You have to overcome that. That means constant endeavor in your mind should be, how do I become a better person? How to be Krishna conscious all the way? This is our constant endeavor. Nevertheless, whatever we do, our work will happen. We have to do this. But mind subconsciously will be always there to help you when you are sincerely making an attempt. You may be doing other things also. But when your desire develops in the heart, then Krishna will always protect you. Even though it may appear that you are doing something else, which may not be related with Krishna. So when you are going out to the work, you are telling Krishna, I am going for my work. But everything, whatever I am doing, is for service of the Lord. So it could be direct, it could be indirect. But everything goes there only. Right? So these are the points which is highlighted here. Shortly after Mahaprabhu went to Gaya, came back, he performed pastimes, accepting initiation from Ishwarpuri. Thus, gradually, he began to take up his real work of distributing love for devotional to Krishna. So now Nimai becomes a devotee. You can see the Leela of the Lord. He's taking blessings from Srivas. So this is showing an instruction for all of us. Never underestimate anybody. He's showing a value of devotee, a value of his own expansion, a value of his own servant. Here he is highlighting Srivas. He's one of his expansion, but he is the expansion himself, but he is listening to him. So this is one of our egos where some junior devotee or a devotee who comes tell something at that time, you will feel, oh my God, why should I hear from him? He should hear from me. Hear what is that? So one of the best aspects of Lord Chaitanya's pastime is he will show how to become humble. That is what Chaitanya philosophy is. It makes you humbler and humbler and humbler. More than what is in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Chaitanya Charitamrita helps us to become more softened. It will soften our heart. It will help us to mitigate the ego below our feet. So this is what from this we understand. Now, he said, when Mahaprabhu returned from Gaya, he began to display symptoms of one who is intoxicated with the love of God. So actually Sachimata became terrified. He was wondering, he went for school, afterwards coming back, what is wrong with him? So she started asking everybody, please do something, Maya, Mata, something, all that. They had tried many things on Lord Chaitanya. Nothing was happening. But Lord Chaitanya was continuously crying and always chanting Hare Krishna. So that was happening. And many people thought he's gone crazy. So Mahaprabhu came to Srivas Pandit and he says, people call me mad. What do you think? For that. Your madness is very good madness, he says. I want also for that. I also want to become mad like you. So I see the signs of ecstatic love for your body. Lord Krishna is very merciful. So from this, Lord Chaitanya embraced Srivas Pandit and he said, if you too had said that if I was going mad, I would have drowned myself in Ganges. What a statement it is. That is why to be safer to be with devotees. If you are not with devotees, if you are chanting with Hare Krishna, same thing will happen. They will tell you call mad. Now also if you go to many places where what you have studied and things like that, even today you can find people telling, why are you wasting your time? Because they think we are mad. Now you should decide who is mad. So here clearly everything is coming from our parampara. We know what it is. Even that time it was there. Even now it is there. Now these people who think in this world, not that the people were at that time who were they were all saintly people, but still they misunderstood Lord Chaitanya. Here they deliberately misunderstand them. Because they think they are pandits. What do you say? Coming from now, BMS college, now moment you get degree, all the people will start. Campus interviews will be there. When a devotee passes from ISKCON, who will be standing there? What interviews will be there? Interviews will be there here also. Next ISKCON will be ready. Which planet you will go, you don't know. You will be also transferred. Not to America, no, Lord Chaitanya's different planet, wherever they are, you will go there. Am I telling a lie? Is it not true? Millions of. We always want to be in the pastime of Lord Chaitanya. Even Vaikuntha is no more enjoyment. But Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet, wherever he goes, that is more tastier. So Chaitanya Bhagavat, he's talking about this. One day in ecstatic mood, Lord Gauranga entered Srivas' house asking, Srivas, whom do you worship? Whom do you meditate upon? Now with your own two eyes, see the person standing before you. So when relationship she becomes very close. When an exalted person, maybe prime minister or maybe president or whomever you think who is big, when you become very close to him, then they become so intimate that they reveal their true identity inside the house. I never knew this guy is so friendly here, but outside he is like a policeman or something else. So this is what is shown here. The intimacy between Srivas and Lord Chaitanya is exhibited here. That's why Lord Chaitanya is telling that, what are you doing? So the moment when he said that, he went and sat down in the Simhasan in Shiva's place and revealed this four-handed form of Lord Vishnu holding conch, disc, lotus, seeing the form of Shivas, immediately fell down, being Hari Hari. No, you are supposed to clap actually, but anyhow, it fell and made some sound. Sri Gaur Sundara said, due to be being called by your Sankirtana, I came down. Not only you, Lord Advaita Acharya, all of you, I have left Vaikunta. I have descended upon this mortal world, accompanied my eternal associate, will destroy the miscreants and deliver the pious. Now, without fear, you can chant my glories. So now he is revealing the purpose of his appearance. So from this, what we understand is whether we are genuine. What is our movement? Are we doing that? Many times we also see other places. They are also practicing Krishna consciousness. But how much of it is, like what Mahaprabhu is talking about? So this emphasizes that ISKCON is a place where everything is happening as what Lord Chaitanya wanted. So this is to be understood. The more we realize this, the more value for ISKCON increases, the more love for Srila Prabhupada becomes stronger. For any relationship to become stronger, unless we understand the relation between two of us, we will not be able to make progress. Because we love our parents, because we have established the relation, though they gave me birth. We love brother and sister because the relationship is there. In the same way, if you don't establish relation between you and Guru or Acharya, then you cannot make progress in spiritual life. You have to understand who Srila Prabhupada is, who your initiating spiritual master, who your Shiksha Guru is, who are all the people around you. If you don't build that relationship, then again, you cannot get love of God. It's impossible. When natural things you are looking at love of God, how in the spiritual aspect will you get? When you can love your parents, just because the identification, we are there, your parents. So when you are established that you are so-and-so of disciple of so-and-so, how is that our relationship with Srila Prabhupada not becoming stronger and stronger? Because we are relating with our body, we are not relating with the mind. We relate with when the heart and the mind, then things change. Immediately, why is he suddenly joined the ISKCON movement? Because that erupted, not everything, everybody can happen like that. What matters is that the loving of relationship, it's not an external symptom. It is an internal system. External can be there, but internal is more important. Why are we coming here? Why are we sitting here? Why are we studying here? That is only because of Prabhupada. That is only because of his teachings. We are 100%, we have to be surrendered to his mood and make progress. Yeah, because of anarthas, it's taking time for us to shed that. But you have to make an attempt to throw that, leave it out. Just like every day we pass stool, our anarthas also have to go. Every day we have prasad. So what is prasad? Is Bhagavatam study also is prasad, chanting is prasad. All this is matter of that which we take to our body. Through the mind, through the mouth, through the tongue, through the ears, these are all prasad going in different ways, go to the heart. And when that starts digesting, the heart will reveal how our Acharya is. At any point of time, you will not forget your father.
At any point of time, you will not forget if it is true. Because nowadays we don't know, fathers changing, mothers changing, so many things happen because Kali Yuga. But our identity with so and so will never change. That relationship is always there. First thing, anything happens to our people, you will go there. You will try to protect. Whether it's our kids, or our parents, or relatives. Yes. Just one thing I was trying to understand from this world war which is happening in Ukraine. Kind of a world war. You can see how India took a stand. It's a strategic play, but it was not that it is from the heart. They were trying to protect themselves. I'm not telling it's a bad move or something like that, but it's strategically, if you see, there are two. One, we see the war as it is, what is happening, people are suffering. On the other side, people are taking sides. One is taking that side, one is the other taking this side. And what is the position of India? And what is the position of Dharma of India? What is it talking about? We can't see Russians different from Ukrainians. We are now, today ISKCON is coming up with a fundraising program where we are all collecting money and sending to the affected people, whether it is Russia or whether it is Ukraine. So we have started seeing as an Atma. So this is not Dehatma Buddhi. This is Paramatma Buddhi. Coming from the source, coming from the spiritual master, we are identifying the problems based with the issues, but not the person. We don't hate the Russians, neither the Ukrainians. We are issuing, but we have our own limited sources. How we are. So same thing happened in Mahabharata Yuddha also. Many people sided with Pandavas, many people sided with Kauravas. But what won was Dharma. So here also, whatever activity we are contributing towards the help of Ukraine, whatever is happening, certainly they'll be benefited. So in this way, unless this relationship, again coming back to relationship, is established between Guru and you, between Atma and the Paramatma, it is very difficult that love will not penetrate. Something happens that you are only possessing about yourself or people whom you understand, but not Guru. Whereas Srila Prabhupada, whenever he made his disciples and when he started expanding, all his disciples, they wedded to him. They didn't know anybody else other than Srila Prabhupada. So when you read Srila Prabhupada Leela Amrit, what is that they were attached to Prabhupada only? Many instances were there. And what was that Srila Prabhupada was attached to? He had his own people, by his own body, he had his wife, children. Then how is that what's connecting? So his connection with his devotees was always there. So this is the true love and affection which is coming from the spiritual world, which Srila Prabhupada is giving us. And Lord Chaitanya is establishing this fact. So hearing these words, Srivas fell when he said that. He fell on the ground offering his obeisances. He began to recite the hymns in praise of the Lord. My obeisance to Lord, lotus feet supporting the entire universe, Vishwambhar, whose bodily color, it says in Chaitanya Bhagavat, whose bodily color is like that of a newly arrived rain cloud and wore garments which are color of a thunderbolt. My obeisance at your lotus feet, the son of Sachi, who is bedecked with ornaments of peacock feathers and garlands of red beads, Guna Manjala. My obeisance to the lotus feet of pupil of Ganga Das, the beauty of whose lotus face conquers the 10 million moons. My obeisance to lotus feet of you who carry a buffalo horn, stick and flute. The four Vedas have proclaimed you to be the son of Nanda. Therefore, unto you, my dear Lord, my obeisance I offer again and again. Chaitanya Bhagavata is speaking about this. So these activities, it is coming out naturally. Now, if you go further, the connection between the relationship will be highlighted. You see what happens when his own son dies. So when you are connecting with Guru and Krishna, we may be performing our day-to-day duties, but still our consciousness will be towards pleasing Guru and Krishna. That is what is established. Then today, my birth, my activities, my everything has become successful. That is, today my very existence has been crowned with the greatest auspiciousness. Today, race of my forefathers has finally borne fruit, and my house, which was always their house, has become blessed. Today, the great fortune of my eyes is completely beyond my calculation, because I was able to see that person whose lotus feet are served by the goddess of fortune of Lakshmi Devi. This is how Lord Srivas glorified Gaur Sundara. Having described the glory, can we have a little fan? Having described the glories of Gaur Sundara in so many ways, Gaur Sundara showed even more compassion to Srivas by revealing himself to all his family members. Seeing this, Srivas Pandit present before him, Prabhu called. The niece of Srivas Pandit was also there. Mahaprabhu called her Narahari, calling upon Sri Krishna with tears in your eyes. He said, Narahari, you call upon Krishna with tears in your eyes. And immediately that girl who was 4-year-old or something, she started crying continuously and chanting Krishna's name. So this is what is Lord Mercy. Same thing happened for all of us. Somebody picked us up. They made us chant Hare Krishna. They gave us beads. They made our life success. Is it not the same parampara? Mercy is flowing. But sometimes we think, why mercy is not coming? The moment you thinking a bad day, every morning you get up for Mangal Aarti is mercy only. Somebody benefited you. So mercy is constantly flowing. You have to realize, you have to pick it up. Unfortunately, if you are not conscious about that, then mercy will go like this. Huh? You cannot recognize, because illusion is very powerful. You cannot recognize. Nobody can get it. You will get bewildered like anything. That was one thing about Srila Prabhupada was, when he was as a young person, when he met Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, and even when he was about to leave this world, Sthita Prajna, he was never bewildered any time. So this is the consciousness, how we can understand how Prabhupada was. We are inheriting such a legacy. What an Acharya is. And it is in process. It is in parampara. Srivas is exhibiting this. Same thing is coming from Srila Prabhupada. Even our present Acharyas are doing it. So what is the difficulty? We have to make a little effort. See, discipline, I can implement, I can put it up in the temple. But if it doesn't arouse passion in yourself, whatever discipline is a waste of time. It's like a military. I give you money, I train you, you go and shoot. But there is no, actually, there's no love and affection, anything like that. The moment you take your money back, that fellow will come back, he'll not fight. So it is like this. It is very important for us to look in deeper understanding of these pastimes and what it impact on our own life. Even alpam, solpamapi dharmas, even little, it matters in our mind, triggers in your mind. You are blessed for 100 millions. So this is what is mercy is. So immediately the girl who was 4-year-old began to cry, and she began to dance, tears in, and she was soaked so much. That's what Chaitanya Bhagavata is speaking about. Seeing little Narahari together agitated, ecstatic love, Shiva's wife and even household servants also began to shed tears of love. The courtyard of Shiva's took on a very beautiful appearance, being decorated with ecstatic love for Krishna consciousness. So this is what very important to create a good atmosphere even in temple, a good atmosphere at home. It is necessary. Because if everybody is lively like that, our spiritual life also goes. Now, what is it she's showing here? Everybody seeing that young girl, Krishna, Krishna, she's chanting, and tears, and everybody is becoming also Krishna consciousness, tears are coming. Is it not? So sometimes we also chant when somebody is doing nice kirtan, nice bhajan. We also get involved, is it not? So what is the difference between that and that? It's all same. It's only your perception matters. How do you see it matters? Right? We go further. Now you see one more pastime, which is, there was a maid servant in Srivas Pandit's house by name Dukhi. Every day she used to bring water from Ganga for Mahaprabhu's bath. One day Gaur Sundar asked Srivas, who brings this water? Srivas said, Dukhi brings it. From today, she is not Dukhi, she is Sukhi. Thus, Lord indicated that those who serve the Lord and Lord's devotees are not Dukhi, they are Sukhi, and that applies to us also. Never be perturbed by the problems of life. You are actually rich man's person. Dukhi, Sukhi. So we were also Dukhi one day. Now we become Sukhi. But sometimes we get bewildered, we become Dukhi. Is it not? Something happens in material life, then become Dukhi. What do you say, Anirudh? Something goes up and Dukhi. No, immediate thing. No, we are Sukhi. Because whatever happens, bad or good, is for become Sukhi. Right? In Krishna conscious way, if you see anything happens, disturbance or something which is very favorable, desirable, is nothing of that importance. It goes in life, right? Just like the seasons. So now this point also you can highlight in your heart. What do you say? What you will highlight? From Dukhi you become, right? Sukhi Das, Dukhi Das. We should have this play sometimes. Interesting. Anirudh. At that time, actually this whole episode of this, you can make a drama. This sequence is there. You can put it in a nut and here. What do you say? Food for thought. All right, very good. At this time, Gaur Sundar began his Leela as Yugavatar at the house of Srivas Pandit. Having been united with Nityananda Prabhu, he started his congregational chanting of the holy names in the courtyard of Srivas Hangan, Shiva's house. Nityananda Prabhu took his residence in their house. Malini Mataji started serving Nityananda, and he was actually as their own son. Nityananda was actually Balaram himself, but he was doing the pastimes of Nityananda. Sometimes he was also acting like a madman. He was also overwhelmed love of Krishna. He was not aware of a state of mind. So he was also called Avaduta, right? Then let us go another pastime. One evening, Gaur Sundar, accompanied by his associate, was engaged in chanting and dancing at the house of Srivas Thakur. And one of our Srivas Thakur's son passed away. Very important, huh? Passed away, and after having suffered the effect of because of some disease. Look at Srivas, how he is behaving now. Within the inner apartment of the house, the woman began to wail in lamentation at the boy's untimely death. And Srivas Pandit, who was outside in the courtyard, understood that some tragedy has happened inside the house. He quickly entered inside the house to find out his son was dead. He'd gone to the next world. And as he was a great devotee and completely conversant in science of absolute wrath, he was not able to console the woman in grief. Now the difference was, Srivas Pandit had no problem. He knew he had gone, the journey has to go on. So he was completely consoled in the heart, but all his relatives they were not able to control. So you can see at all point of times, these things do happen. And from this we learn how to react as a devotee, how to become a Sthita Prajna, how in our own families death do happen, and how do we approach there, what is kind of emotions we exhibit, what do we talk there. So these are some of the facts which gives you the encouragement to come and talk about it. I can relate where when my father had died, it was the 30th day celebration. And my nephew was a young devotee at that time. And we asked him to speak about my father. And he was so much involved. He quoted some slokas of Bhagavad Gita. He was probably very young that time, maybe 14 or 15 years. So Vaikunta Samaradhana. After that, they generally glorifies people who live this world. And when he was asked, he was talking about my father glories and he quoted some slokas of Bhagavad Gita. So that's the true nature. So if we are Shastra, basically we understand our life through our Shastras, then certainly any bewilderment we can overcome. Now what happened next? He quickly, he started speaking. What did he say? You're all aware of Krishna's glories. Please restrain yourself, because Lord Chaitanya is dancing outside. Whoever doing his last moment hears Lord's name, he would have gone back to Godhead. Because that boy, he was hearing Lord Chaitanya's the holy name, he would have gone back, attains Krishna. So, and what incomparably wonderful Lord, he whose glories are sung by his servants up to and including Lord Brahma, he is now personally dancing in the courtyard of the house. So kindly don't react. Right? Huh? The moment is so auspicious, it is sure that this boy has successfully completed his journey from this world. Is there anything to be lamented at this point? His good fortune, he is completely assured. I understand that whatever part I have played in this, also crowned by success. He was very realized, and he's making these statements that he has gone back to God. He is not bewildered by that. So this is the mood of an Acharya. This is the mood of an exalted Vaishnava. Even among devotees, we get disturbed when senior devotees do come to our house. We will also be attached to so many things. We may not be with high platform, but when we seek their guidance, somewhere or the other, it gives us the inspiration. Is it not? We saw Murari's Prabhu's son left this planet. The devotees were chanting Hare Krishna. And the boy's face was blissful. How many of you went there? So when we went there, what happened? Now their life is normal. Everything is going on. They understood what it is. So Krishna consciousness is only movement that can really make your life blissful. Otherwise, we'll be always cursing people who die, because they would have not left money. They would have left not left money is okay, but if you put us in debt, this is the biggest problem. Bita, bank you have to run away from there, you have to see. It does happen, no? So what it is, but we don't have such problems. Now he concluded telling, if you can't control your emotions because of your family affection to the boy, at least don't cry for now, do it later. The Supreme Lord Gokula himself is dancing outside. He's performing Sankirtana. Hey, when do I stop? I don't know, I'm going. Hey, cut off the time. 10 minutes? 5 minutes? You tell me. 9:15, all right. He is very merciful. So if due to your crying and happiness, he is experiencing from dancing of ecstasy, don't disturb. Then I will just, that minute come. Otherwise, what I'm going to do, if you don't stop, I will go and jump into Ganges. So he's requesting, Baba, don't do Galana. Is happening there. So here you can understand that not a blade of grass moves unless Krishna's will. To see that in the happiness or distress, knowledge. See, here is the thoughts where we have to understand. To see in this happiness or distress or knowledge or ignorance is simply an imagination. Know that whatever Krishna wills is good, and thus giving up your own selfish desires, become free from confusion of unnecessary botheration. Krishna is giving and Krishna is taking away. Krishna gives, Krishna takes away. And Krishna is alone who is maintaining everyone. Someone protects and someone destroys. All is because of Lord. If someone contemplates of something contrary to Krishna's will, then result of this, he will go doom. Give up all lamentation, simply hear Krishna's name, and thus pass through all difficulties, feeling great happiness. Then your desires will be fulfilled. So he now makes that statement. Having given all these instructions, Srivas comes inside, joins Mahaprabhu, and the continuation, and the women there, they stop, and after the program, suddenly Lord Chaitanya comes and tells Srivas, today something was wrong with me. I was not enjoying the way I used to do daily enjoy. But Srivas says, my dear Lord, no, everything was okay. I didn't feel like that. You were better off. You were chanting. It was perfectly okay. We enjoyed. At that time, some of the devotees revealed to Lord Chaitanya, telling that Shiva's son has left this world. And Lord Chaitanya says, you never told me this. So this is another point where we can meditate on how Lord Chaitanya reacts. The same thing, in Bhagavatam, we can see Angira Muni. What is that? Huh? Chitraketu. Same thing happened there, where that kid dies and how the kid comes back to life and gives a good lesson to everybody. So she was answered, my dear Lord, you were all auspicious, everything was okay. But when he heard Gaur Chandra cried out, alas, what a tragic has happened. Why you did not tell me about this unfortunate news before? I will explain, my dear Lord. I could not tolerate your disturbing your beautiful chanting. Sankirtana was going. What if one of my son dies? What sorrow is there in that for me? If we all die while seeing you, that is success. What a statement he is making. If we all die in front of you dancing, that is our success. On the other hand, if you would have stopped dancing, I would have died. My Lord, this was a danger that I feared. That's why I did not tell you. Seeing Srila, Srivas Pandit's profound devotion, Gaur Sundara, how can I give up such a company of this? So this is what is relationship, Though dost, very difficult to. With tears in his eyes, due to love for me, he did not even feel lamentation at the death of my son. How will I abandon such a kind of relationship? So Lord continued to cry, and devotees began to worry what's going to happen. Thereafter, Mahaprabhu went inside and called, boy, why are you going away, leaving Srivas Pandit? Life of the dead child immediately came back, and Mahaprabhu's hand touched and offered obeisances to the Lord. He said, oh Prabhu, whatever you order is absolute. Now the child is speaking. Whatever you order is absolute. No one can do anything but what is sanctioned by you. As many days I have destined, I have remained here. Many days I have stayed. Now my time has come, so I have to go. So I proceeded to leave. My Lord, I have taken birth and died repeatedly. But this time of death, I passed away quickly, happily. That's what I told you earlier. What is a dead body? What is a living body? This is what he says. I was in a dead body. I used to die every time, take birth, die again. But now I have taken a body which will not, no birth again. So that boy is telling, after saying this, the child became silent. That means he went back. So Gaur Sundara thus enjoyed the transcendental sport, having heard the uncommon words of the dead child. Devotees floated in the ocean of bliss. Srivas Pandit, along with family members, then fell at the lotus feet of Gaur Sundara, cried at ecstatic love. Mahaprabhu told him, since myself and Nityananda, look at what Lord Chaitanya is telling. Since myself and Nityananda are your two sons, please don't feel any more distress in your mind over what has happened. Hearing these compassionate words of Lord, the devotees cheered and resounded throughout the heavens. So one point for you to ponder is that Lord Chaitanya, even though he gave back the child life, but never that he never came back. Now what Lord Chaitanya is telling, what has happened, happened. Don't worry, you accept me as your child. So this is what life is. So devotees should be dhira. Anything happens, anybody quits for unknown reasons, we will not get bewildered. Many times, sometimes we get bewildered. Oh, I did so much of devotion service, something happened to me and they stop everything. So what is these things? That's not because of realization. Any distress come, more devotion. Pray to Krishna. So dhiras tatra muhyati. That is the strength what we have. Many things will come and go. Even if you don't don't expect this, but it will still happen. Even if you are devotee, non-devotee, these troubles do come. But at that time, if you are a devotee, you will realize why it has come and you will not curse the Lord. But that time, what you will do? You will curse not only Dal, curse everybody. So this is what is Krishna consciousness. It makes you understand the purpose of this body given to you. So Shiva's life is that. So we will end here. That Nityananda, Shiva's pastime of Shiva's in conclusion is that Lord Chaitanya himself becomes the children of Shiva's Pandit. So it's a very glorious day. You can hear pastimes, any other continuously like this. The more you hear about this, the more transformation takes place in the heart, and we can make our life successful. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The year which is going to come, certainly a lot of challenges will be there. New temple is going to come up. Every one of us will become busy. But in this busyness, don't become dizziness. That means to be conscious that new temple, whichever is coming, is meant for more people like you to become devotees. We have to welcome more and more. We have more services. We have to become more responsible. More problems, more people who are dukkis will come. You have to make them sukhis. What is ICC meant for? Dukhi to sukhi. So our Swayam Prakash Prabhu already ordered Lord Gauranga, Nityananda, they are on the way, they will be coming. He will establish them here. He is the temple commander. He will make sure every one of you is in the army properly trained and consciously everything. He'll make, you have to just cooperate with him, including myself. So we'll cooperate with him and make sure this ICC will make many more dukkis to sukhis around Samriddhi layout. Hari Bol. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. So what is your title now? Dukhi? Dukhi to Sukhi. Is there on the internet also? Are they there online?
Yes, Prabhu.
Oh, Hare Krishna. Okay, open for comments. Hey, why did I make him commander of the kitchen? I missed his association. Oh, you're in another class. That's all. Yeah. Any comments? You are now Superman. For every temple, if commanders very strong, then the temple will be army, air force, everything will be vigilant. We have all these people who are sitting. What do you say? You are vigilant? Be more, huh? A little bit. Prasad is there, don't worry. Yes, Haribol, anybody comment there? You are giving Karana class. Same. Srivas, very good. What do you say, Anirudh Prabhu? Huh?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Today's encouraging lecture on the pastimes of Shiva's Pandit, and then how the very important points you made were about the Sthita Prajna, and I like, because practically that how we come across in the life, in devotional life also, that Sthita Prajna is required, and we have to plan our activities in such a way. So you started off with that material and then the spiritual aspirations. So like that, every step by step, we have to make our progress improve. And then also the very important fact of Srivas Thakur's contribution, that he made the Lord arrangement for the Lord, and his house itself he donated. He gave it for the Lord's pastimes. And then we could see that everybody were benefited. And then ultimately the final cream, the cherry on the icing on the cake was that about the converting from Dukhi to Sukhi. So like that, it was a good realization, and then a lot of learning in this aspect. We just have to make use of it bit by bit and make our progress. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thanks,
Krishna.
thanks, Prabhu.
Somebody was on net.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Only to me, she said. Say Hare Krishna. Na?
Prabhu, in yesterday's class, you were
Today's class you talk, no?
Bhakti Kutir class.
No, that is it related with this?
Yes, because you told one incident about Srivas Prabhu, that he was very fond of Lord Narasimha, and he was doing puja to Narasimha. At that time, he heard somebody calling his name, and so he went to the door and opened, and there he was in for a great surprise. What a pleasurable surprise! And then stood Lord Narasimha, and then it was Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu standing, but in the form of Narasimha. He immediately fell down, paid obeisance. So it shows that Narasimha is Mahaprabhu is not different from Lord Narasimha or any other avatar.
100% you're right.
When you told that the whole body, for me also, sort of, what to say, romanchana or whatever it is.
Oh,
I
good.
felt so happy, Prabhu.
Be
That
careful.
incident was very nice.
Lokeshwari. So we have some devotees who show some symptoms. Good. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So we'll wind up.
Hare
Go
Krishna,
ahead.
Prabhu. Rangaraj Krishnadas here, Prabhu, from Mysore. So happy to see you back.
Oh,
You were not well
Krishna.
for 2-3 days. Rangaraj, yes, Prabhuji. Rangaraj Krishnadas.
Yeah, tell me.
So nice to see you back, Prabhu. You were not well for 3-4 days, and now you are full of fire. You gave a beautiful class. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hope to implement what you are telling. You're teaching from Dukhi to Sukhidas, mainly.
I am also trying. You also keep trying.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Sadhana eva hi kevalam. Not shrama evi kevalam. Sadhana eva hi kevalam. All right. Hare Krishna.